Welcome to Frame It Up, the Dollar Tree photo frame DIY. Hello everyone, this is Beth with Pearl Treasure Designs here once again with today's challenge collaboration. We're going to get right into the crafting today, but we will have more to say about our wonderful hosts and co-hosts later on in the video. So let's head to the craft room and see what's cooking. Hey y'all, so what I'm doing here is getting ready to paint the frames from the dollar store, and I am coating them with a chalk white by Waverly to get complete coverage. And so once I had completed the two coats of Waverly chalk paint, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and add some texture to the outside of the frame. So I'm going to let this play out so you can see the coverage of the white chalk paint before moving into the next texture. So I've completed the two coats of white Waverly chalk paint, and now I'm adding baking soda to the Waverly white chalk paint to give it a cement type or drop ceiling kind of texture when it dries. And I added a even coat to begin with, and then I will go ahead and spackle it with the tip of my brush. So this is just the first part of adding this mixture to the outside of my frames, and you'll get to see how I do this and why I'm doing this in just a few minutes. So go ahead and take a look at this texture. It is again a mixture of baking soda and white chalk paint, and I'm spackling it on right now with the brush to give it that lifted texture, or more like a spackled ceiling texture or cement texture. And so I'm going to speed this up for you so you don't have to watch paint dry, but you'll get a look at the texture itself. So now that I finished the back and the two frames with that spackling texture, I am going to go ahead and reinforce the sides with the wood pieces that you see there to receive tiny little craft screws and hinges so that it would stay attached to the frame itself due to its construction. I believe these are made of MDF, and those little screws would come out, so I wanted to make sure it had something for it to bite into. I am adding E6000 and hot glue to secure it in place and to dry, and then I will do the same to the other side that will be receiving the crafting hinge and screw. So you get to see that in just a moment. Here, I did find these wood pieces at Eco Relics right here in Jacksonville, so check them out. It's a great resource for recycled wood. When you get to Eco Relics, tell Steve Beth from Pearl Treasure Design sent you. Well, here I'm getting ready to put those wood pieces in to add security to the frame itself with the hinges and the tiny screws that I have to put in place. I did put this in place with E6000 and hot glue for security reasons. Then I had to go ahead and use the clamps to allow this to dry for a substantial amount of time to add those tiny screws. Now that the work is dry, we're going to go ahead and add the small hinges and tiny screws in place to allow the frames to open for putting this memory box together. And welcome to the Dollar Tree Photo Frame DIY. Here with our host, Our Gray House, DIY with Aurea, Crafty Art Shack, and Pearl Treasure Designs. Be sure to check out all of the channels located in my description box. They have some wonderful channels, and yes, I'm there too. So go ahead, check out our channels. Like, share, and subscribe. We could all use a number of help building our channels because we are a community. Check it out. So right now I'm preparing those hinges and screws to get attached to the outside edge of the frame project that I've been working on. So that I let that dry, and now I'm going to be marking the hinges with my pencil, and I'm going to poke some holes with my my tool there, and it lets the screw just bite in a little bit better. Definitely needed something for that to secure to. And then you'll get to see more of this in just a moment. I did add to the blessing sign some rub and buff in the gold or copper tone, so you'll get to see that. So now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm changing out the bit, the screwdriver bit for the drill bit, to create a hole to actually put a pull string. Instead of a knob, I wanted to have something a little less obtrusive, I guess, and that would go with my design. So I am going to go ahead and grab a piece of 2x4 to stabilize the hinge area so that I'm not tearing it apart, putting the drill bit through that part of the frame. And you'll get to see me do that in just a moment. And I did have a little snafu. I had pulled the magnet right off of the frame, so my bad. Had to replace that and get that secured, but that was an easy fix. So here's that hole I was talking about, and I took a piece of jute and put a knot in one side and wrapped it with tape on the other and double knotted it. And that is my knob to open the memory box or the memory frame. I'm just going over the edges of the wood and the frame with white chalk, Waverly white chalk paint, to hide any of the MDF and wood structures that are holding this thing together. And then you'll get to see the finished product in just a moment. I did go ahead and reattach that magnet to the frame and let it dry overnight. By putting the wood piece there, it wouldn't secure down and come apart again. So I'm picking off the extra glue and paint around the frame piece and adding the plexiglass front and letting it dry. I had 2 metal strips in my stash for magnets, and I added those to it, as well as the wood feet. You can add that to a mantle or a table or dresser and put anything in it for your memory box that you want. Welcome to the final reveal. Come on down to the Chic Shack. It's time to explore with the Crafty Art Shack and Pearl Treasure Designs at Avonlea Mall on Phillips Highway in Bay Meadows in Jacksonville, located at booth 208. So come check us out. Thanks for watching. A big shout out to all my subscribers out there. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. Then if you could, press that like button and share with all your friends. I would appreciate that. For those of you in need of spiritual support, please go to Pastor Beth Kelly at Beth Kelly Podcast on YouTube, or email me at pastorbethkelly@gmail.com. And remember, we are all in this together.